Moon Mondays, here we are again. All right, happy Scorpio full moon today. Scorpio is such a perfect energy, perfect sign for the full moon, right? Because it's that time when we can go a little crazy. We want to take a walk on the wild side and basically just let go of our inhibitions. Scorpio loves that free fall, right? And the feeling of aliveness that the full moon brings. I'm Sheridan, your astro life coach, here with woman centered insights to help you align with the cosmic cycles to create a life of clarity and purpose. So, here we are, the Scorpio full moon today. It's beautiful to check it out as the sun is setting and the full moon is rising. It's just activates something primordial inside of us. This Scorpio full moon is pretty much right on my IC, which is the bottom part of your chart. Some people will call it the nadir, which it's not exactly that, but that's a good word to use. It's like the lowest point that the sun or the planets reach on our chart during the day. It's at the bottom. And that really lets us connect into what is our home life, or the place we feel safe and secure, the place that is I like to think of it sometimes of like we're playing tag and like the IC is like our home base kind of a place, right? So for me, having Scorpio on my IC is, I used to be like really secretive and like the only place I really felt just completely safe and safe to be myself was like at home alone by myself, right? I was always in that place of just surviving still so much of my childhood trauma. Like I used to smoke and I kept that like hidden. No one ever knew. I was so ashamed of it. Lots of binging, eating, lots of TVing, like just so much shame and hidden. And like that to me is so indicative of like a Scorpio IC of the shadow sides of Scorpio, right? Shame, right? Scorpio is known to be so secretive because we're so freaked out by our dark sides. Like we don't want to go there. We're ashamed of it. We think everyone else is handling their stuff just fine, but it's all like us and we're weird and different. And something's wrong with me. I'm bad. I'm not good enough. All that kind of stuff that lives in that shadow dark side of us. So Scorpio hides because society is just not comfortable with that. But obviously, society, we need to get comfortable with that. So this Scorpio full moon gives us that opportunity to lean into that a little bit. Maybe you go a little crazy and you get to kind of look at like what's going on underneath that, or you just get to take the reins off and it feels so freeing to like lean into your dark side a little bit, right? Because the truth is we are all the things, right? We are the Chinese Taoist symbol of yin and yang. We are the light and the dark. We are all the things. That's why there's like a little dot of the dark and the light in each other, right? We're always like morphing into, and the more that we can step into our wholeness and our authenticity and embrace our light and shadow, the better we feel, the less shame we feel, the more we're like, okay, to be authentic and be ourselves and connect with ourselves because we're not afraid of parts of us. So that's the gift of Scorpio is Scorpio isn't afraid of the dark, right? It also loves the light, right? We can really focus on Scorpio being all about like the dark and the secretive and the shadow and the hiding and the excavating, composting kind of place. But Scorpio's doing that because it knows that's where the juice is. And Scorpio's all about the juice. And then we can sail to those highest heights and be in more of our light when we're not stuffing and afraid and shameful of our dark. And that's what really turns Scorpio on is the aliveness of stepping into all of ourselves, releasing that energy, letting the dark and the light flow through us, right? So for me, it was like I was locked into those like secret hidden home safety patterns until I started into doing more of my astro life coaching. Life coaching entered my life, and I learned how to really unearth what was living in the shadow in my subconscious and embrace it. And that is so incredibly freeing. I can feel that just saying it and tuning back into that feeling and that place. Oh, it's like you can just take a deep breath when you're allowed to be you, when I'm allowed to be me, and you're allowed to be you in like all aspects of ourselves, and nothing has to be hidden or shoved into the darkness. So, the full moon is this check-in point in the moon cycle, and it's this Scorpio moon that I've been like sharing about this energy opposite the Taurus sun. So, that aliveness access is really alive this month, this at this time, right? So when we have this full moon, it's this check-in point in the moon cycle, and it's time to check in and just be like, hey, where am I at with my Taurus new moon intention this month? Have I totally abandoned it? Have I forgotten it? Am I still connected to it? Am I still taking baby steps and taking action to bring it into manifestation, to bring it into life, as opposed to like magical thinking, like fingers crossed wishes that it will just come true on its own, right? What am I doing to support and help the process? Also, the Taurus moon, I mean, sorry, the full moon, nothing about Taurus. Well, the sun is in Taurus, but the full moon is a time for celebration, right? We want to get out there, be with our people, be in the light. We might stay up late. We want to party, have fun, right? It's a celebration. It's a time we come together and we dance around the bonfire, right? Have food together, all of that. We tend to focus so much on releasing at the full moon. And honestly, I just do not care for that at all. Like, we don't have to constantly be working on ourselves. So take the full moon to celebrate something about yourself. Like, what is one thing right now, listening to this, that you can acknowledge about yourself and celebrate that today at this full moon? Releasing can come tomorrow when the moon starts losing light. There's plenty of time the rest of the month to be like releasing the thing that you want to be letting go of, blah, 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 right? Also, look for the moon near Antares, the heart of the Scorpion constellation, like throughout Tuesday night. I'm actually going to share my screen and we're just going to take a look at this for a second so we can see where this is happening in the sky. So here we go. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so here is Tuesday night late, right? 10:30 p.m. Here is the moon rising with Antares and opposite Jupiter setting. And this is a northern hemisphere facing south direction, right? You see Regulus, the heart of the Lion constellations on high. Here's Mars in the sky, Spica, the hand, the um, what is the word I'm looking for? The piece of wheat that the priestess is holding. And here's Antares and the moon. As we move through the night, I'm just going to move an hour at a time. See, there's that Scorpion constellation. And here's Antares, the heart of the Scorpion. And here is that moon with it. So if you're out during the night or even into the early morning, right, before the moon and Antares are setting, you can start to feel into and have a look at that part of the sky. The Scorpion constellation is just so cool with that whole tail, and it points right into um, galactic center, where we look into the center of our galaxy. So just little outdoor viewing inspiration there. And then this week, we also have the sun meeting with Uranus on Saturday. So the sun and Uranus come into alignment together, conjunction. And the sun is our light that we're learning to shine, the life force energy that we live on. And Uranus is that planet where we really connect into the consciousness and awareness. You could even say like the light of the universe. So there's some nice alignments there that, pay attention to any ahas you get or things that kind of broaden your horizons and help you connect into and see that bigger picture, right? Uranus can also bring change. So you may feel inspired of like things you want to change to like help cultivate more of your life force energy, as well as like the sun being in Taurus. So the life force energy is like focus on our bodies and being embodied. So notice this week if anything's kind of coming up in your awareness that's like, oof, I really feel ready to like shift this thing in myself so I can come into greater alignment, awareness of myself, be more of who I am. Lastly, for all of my astro aromatherapy lovers out there, I love vetiver for Scorpio. It is like this thick, juicy, like sticky, yummy, gooey root essence that really like helps cleanse the waters of our bodies. So emotions, it helps us like walk through that dark shadow side of our lives. So it's like such a perfect, I mean, vetiver to me just smells like Scorpio in so many ways. So that's what I have for you this week. Next week, I will see you when the sun enters Gemini and Gemini season begins, and then Venus moves through the third eye chakra gate, and Saturn enters Aries. So we have a lot of new energy coming in with this big shift of Saturn. So thanks for watching, and I wish you an empowered feminine week.